Hi there. This is Steve Onsman, pastor of Calvary United Church of Christ in Reading, Pennsylvania. We are an open and affirming congregation. Glad to be with you on this first post Easter Wednesday word, and on the 26th of April. So, my question today comes from Elliot Werner. Elliot has a lot of questions. I think he knows the answers. He's just trying to give me something to do. This is he said, George Orwell, the author of 1984, is quoted as saying, as with the Christian religion, the worst argument for socialism is its adherents, um, that is, its followers. Your reaction? Well, okay, here you go. Um, this is very similar to a Gandhi quote that is attributed to him. We're not exactly sure if he said it, but he did say things like this. Um, he said, "I like your Christ. It's Christians I'm not sure about." That may not be exactly it, but you get the gist of it. He liked Jesus. He liked the teachings of Jesus. Not that he thought Jesus was God incarnate, but great rabbi. And but the followers of Jesus, he wasn't so sure about. And I think that recent years have shown us that this idea of bad Christians. I don't want to be judgmental with that word, but it is kind of often used that the sometimes the followers of Jesus. It's not that we don't live up to it. None of us can live up to the teachings, but that we don't even try sometimes. Um, think about how Hitler used the church, and the church let him use it um, to convince people that his work was in some way connected to their work. We have pictures of um, sanctuaries with Nazi paraments hanging and banners hanging in them. They were Nazi churches. Look at how Emperor Constantine, you can defend him all you want, I'm not buying it, who used his vision of a flaming cross as a way to uh, to turn the religion of peace into a religion that blessed war. And again, not all wars are wrong, but most are. And or think about how so many followers of Jesus have been swayed to support unscrupulous people politically. You don't have to go that far back. But let me go back to the moral majority, for example. Their agenda, they were not moral, in my opinion. They were not the majority, but that's how they packaged themselves. Their agenda was to elect someone who would return America to a Christian nation. So that's why they elected Jimmy Carter, and of course, President Carter fooled them with it because he was a open-minded person. So what do? They go and they get behind a man who Ronald Reagan, who was not necessarily a good or bad person, but he certainly wasn't a practicing Christian. But they supported him because he politically fed into their needs, and then he didn't do what they wanted either. So that was very disappointing to them. Um, and it isn't that we're looking for perfection, but to blatantly go against the teachings of Jesus to support a particular political ideology, no matter where it is on the spectrum, is a big part of the problem. In fact, I would venture to say, and I'm not the first to say it, that the leading cause of atheism in America um, could be firmly placed on the shoulders of mean spirited and hard hearted Christians who are going out of their way to make life difficult for people. Um, I mean, we see this in a number of ways. See, right now, what's going on in some states, in Texas and Florida and some others, the movement to limit the rights of the LGBTQ community to the "Don't Say Gay" thing. Which again, you shouldn't be teaching little children sexuality. I think in the public schools, that comes later, right? That comes in health classes as it used to be, I guess. But it also means that if a child in the class has two dads or two moms or what, a combination of anything, they can't, and they talk about what they did on Thanksgiving. The teacher's not allowed to say anything about that. Well, what does that mean to the kid? What does that say to the other kids? It demonizes that child and that child's family. Or think about the the push that right now that I think is just starting about trying to get Christian prayer in the schools. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this football coach who was fired because he wouldn't stop praying in in the school. So after the football games on the 50-yard line. So that's the other one. And okay, the court case with the baker in Colorado who wouldn't bake cakes for same-sex weddings. Uh, Fine, that was found to be. I mean, maybe there is some merit to that decision, but more and more we're going to see this happening. I think. Uh, I guess it's just disturbing to me how so many of the harshest churches in America are also some of the fastest growing and largest churches. It's disturbing to me how people don't seem to care what the root beliefs of these churches are. Um, they go because they like the music, they like the preaching, they have a nice playtime program to keep the kids out of their hair during church, and all of that is fine. I mean, there's lots of reasons we go to church, but the churches that don't thrive on hatred or animosity often struggle to grow. And I think part of that is because a lot of folks who feel deeply for others, who think deeply about these things, and don't condemn, sort of have given up. They're saying no thank you to the church because they're not looking at churches like the one I serve and some others in the area and around the country and around the world that don't believe in hateful theology, that don't believe Jesus condemns folks who are gay or divorced or girls, women who have had abortions. We don't condemn them. Um, it seems to me that the real message of Jesus is being lost, and thinking, feeling people are just dropping out. This is the greatest challenge, I think, for the church in the 21st century. So that's all I have today. What do you think? Send me an email, a message, give me a call. I'm looking for questions to grapple with all the time. Stay safe. We still have the pandemic still with us. I keep saying, skipping on and on. Wear your masks, get your vaccination, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.